Okay. All right. So we'll call the meeting to order at 5:33. And the couple of things that you need to know are that we'll do a roll call attendance. And if and when we vote, we would vote by roll call. And if you can think to identify yourself, like I should say, I'm Linda Avis Scott, and then subsequently we can just use our first names or with the Susans with a initial, so that if someone is listening to the audio, they'll know who we are. So I'm going to read a brief statement that we are supposed to read at the beginning of the meeting, and then we'll do the roll call for attendance. Following the governor's restrictions on public meetings, this meeting of the Council on Aging is being held virtually using zoom.com for remote participation only. The public may access it following the instructions in this meeting's agenda posted on the town website. So does everyone want, I'll say I'm Linda Avis Scott, present, co-chair.
Janice Gray, present.
Susan Gomberg, present. Susan Millinger, present.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so the first, everybody good?
I can just say that Susan's kind of hard to hear. Maybe get a little closer.
Susan G.
Yeah,
Susan
sorry.
N.
Susan
Yeah.
G. Yeah, my apologies.
Probably my phone, but I will try. Sorry? I believe my phone is the difficulty. The voice tends to come and go, I have heard.
It was also very faint, but you're louder now.
Okay, I'll keep my phone right here.
Okay. All right, so the first item on our agenda are the March 11, 2020 meeting minutes. Would someone like to make a motion?
First of all, this is Susan speaking. This is Susan M., the secretary. Did everybody get the most recent copy of the revised minutes that I sent around yesterday?
Yes, thank you, Linda. Yeah.
Susan G.
Did you say something, Susan G?
Just that I got the minutes.
Okay. So would someone like to make a motion?
I move, it's Janice Gray. I move that we approve the minutes as written or submitted or whatever the correct language is.
A second?
Okay, oh, we need to do a roll call vote. So Linda Avis Scott, aye.
Janice Gray, aye.
Susan Gomberg, aye.
Susan Millinger, aye. I'm going to mute so you won't hear the phone.
Okay. A motion carries. So the next item on the agenda is program updates. So we'll go through our usual 3 things, and then we want to talk about Susan Millinger and Janice Gray attending the Village Neighbors Council virtual get-together on Saturday. And also we've had an online a funding request from Marianne Antonella's library director. So I'll just start by saying that our website, the Council on Aging webpage, has been updated to indicate that all 3 of our programs, the Foot Clinic, the Med Ride program, and the potluck lunches, have been suspended for the time being. So that's where we're at. We had, the Med Ride program did say on a case-by-case basis, Elaine requested that, and it made sense to put it, just to say that it's suspended during the coronavirus crisis. So that's where we're at. Susan G.
Regarding the foot clinic,
Yeah,
we currently have 2 months worth of appointments. I had just arbitrarily taken the March appointments and moved them ahead of moved them to April to May.
yeah,
So I could keep just leapfrogging them month to month, or just freeze them where they are right now, and just pick it up whenever we're going to pick it up again.
yeah, yeah.
I don't really have a sense of which one is better.
Anybody, thoughts? I mean, I know that just as an example, my doctor's office dentist canceled, hygiene appointments and just said they'll start to reschedule when it's appropriate to reschedule.
This is Janice Gray, and my dentist did the same thing. My doctor's office called me just maybe yesterday to reschedule a April 24th appointment, saying we're now scheduling in July.
Okay,
Okay, Susan Millinger, I think it makes more sense just to freeze them. It doesn't make a lot of sense to give me an appointment in May that I figure I'm not going to make. Just cleaner to wait.
Yeah.
I think.
Just to be able, would you feel comfortable? This is Linda. Susan G, would you feel comfortable just letting people know that the program is on hold for now?
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah.
Just letting, we know people have appointments, but right now we're just freezing it as they are, and we'll get back to them whenever we do open up. So I'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
This is Susan Millinger again, and I would assume that you would start with the soonest. I'm not saying this very clearly, but the people that were supposed to go in March would get the first dibs, and then the people in April, etc.
That makes sense. Sure. Anything.
Okay. This is Linda. That sounds like a good plan
Okay.
for now. Yep. Yep. Okay. And so, shall we talk about thoughts for Janice and Susan Millinger? Oh, Susan?
Susan Millinger, I have a question because I didn't quite catch something about the MedRide suspension. Was there something about case by case? Did you mention?
We had, after the last meeting, we had put down case by case that it would, but then it seemed at Elaine's request as the coordinator, it was prudent to put that the program was on suspended.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you for clarification.
You're welcome. Let us know when you're ready, Susan.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yep.
So shall we talk about thoughts for Saturday?
This is Janice, and I did find the email that was sent out on March 1st, saying, we ask each, is there a problem?
Yeah, your audio is coming and going.
No, not good.
That's better.
Okay. I'm not getting the signals breaking up thing here, so hopefully we stay with me. We ask each COA, let me hold this up so I'm facing the right way, to send at least 2 representatives to share briefly about your offerings, successes, and challenges. So that's the 3 things we need to come up with something about. And then after some discussion of collaboration possibilities, we can take some time for you to explore what type of initiatives would work in your community. So that's what they're looking for us to say.
Well, the easy thing obviously is to talk about what we're doing And I think what we're doing, they're basically the 3 programs that have just been mentioned are all successes. And I think we should also add the extent of financing that we have been strong supporters of library programs that have major senior participants.
Yes, the fitness programs.
Yeah, the fitness
Yes.
programs.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the challenge, the major challenge, so I would think that'd be mostly what we would talk about. Maybe not. I would think the major challenge we've had is running running a program in which we expect a speaker and have people come into a speaker. And that one of the collaborations we might suggest would be when we want to bring a speaker in, to collaborate with one or more other towns to get a big audience.
Yeah.
I'm writing this down, so I have thoughts too, but I want to make sure I get it.
The whole issue of collaboration is something we should probably talk about with
That's
Susan Millinger.
where I'm headed when I can get there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
If you were sitting here, you'd see me writing, and you'd know I'm
We can see you actually, that we can tell you're writing.
Senior benefit, catching up with the library part. So one of the things before Nancy Spittle came to us that I had backburnered in my brain and was backburnering bringing to us because we were talking about other things like housing, was the idea of more activities, not just speakers, but possibly little, day trips, not going very far, maybe figuring out how we could carpool using village neighbors maybe to help, or renting a van from, like, say, Valley Transporter. And Nancy Spittle brought up something kind of like this too, and I think it would be a lot more interesting, get more people and more cost effective if the different towns could collaborate on something like that. So that was my little baby that I haven't had a chance to birth yet or even bring up at a meeting really.
Susan Millinger again. I think that's a good suggestion. I'm sorry, Janice, are you not finished?
No, I wasn't quite finished. I've been collecting since maybe August when I got this idea. Not that it's a new idea, but I have a file folder of things that have shown up in the paper of small little trips, not people that, like, for example, there's a Museum of our Industrial Heritage up in Greenfield that is open seasonally. So it's not like hours and hours in a car, something that could be fairly quick. So I have a file folder of ideas already. So now I'm done.
Susan Millinger again. I think that's a great idea, Janice. I also think one of what I remember that Nancy mentioned was a dementia coffee or something like that, which I think would be.
Dementia Cafe, yes.
Thank you. That would be wonderful.
Remind me what that is.
People with dementia, and I think their caregivers getting together and just interacting.
Sounds
Not
good.
necessarily a program, but just be able to get together and share. I think that's what she was talking about.
Sorry, Janice, Vicky. Wasn't unique to Wendell. That other places have this. This phrase came up at that Life Path workshop I went to.
Yeah. What are the two of you who aren't going? This is Susan Millinger again. What do the two of you who aren't going think about the whole collaboration question?
I think it's going to be that the conversation is going to be very interesting in the context of where we are and how this is such a transformative time. This is Linda. I'd like to introduce myself. It's interesting to think about possibilities within a place where we don't know when it will be possible to ride together in the car, as an example.
Of course.
You know, so it's going to be, I'll be really interested to hear your reports when you come back, you know, from the meeting, you know, when we have our next council meeting.
I think Janice's folder of ideas is a great one, and the collaboration with Wendell or others sounds good. I remember a few years ago, Leslie Bracebridge via the Historical Society had a walk down in the Quabbin area, the one at the bottom of, right at the bottom of our road to 202. And there were people from Pelham and other places also. It was quite nice. She gave a little talk ahead of time, and then everyone drove down and, you know, hoofed it down to the water. But it was just nice having that collaboration with people from other towns. So I think it'd be a good idea to do these trips with other towns.
Yeah, collaborating
Yeah.
brings up so many possibilities.
Yeah.
Janice just wants to say, I was not by any means suggesting this is something we would do soon.
Oh yeah, I know. I know, Janice. I just, you know, I'll be eager to hear about how it goes. Joanne seems to be
Okay.
coming.
I'm here.
Oh, good.
I don't, my computer decided it had to reconfigure itself for the
Oh,
last
dear.
half hour. So
Oh my goodness.
I'm very sorry.
Well, so if you want to just introduce yourself, because we're recording, and so we identify ourselves. So if you can just say you're there.
Okay, I'm here. I'm Joanne Bernhardt, co-chair of the Council on Aging.
Great. So Joanne, we've been just talking about Janice and Susan Millinger are going to go to the Village Neighbors Council on Aging virtual get together on Saturday.
Yes.
We were talking about their thoughts, and Janice reminded all of us of what you know, the intent is to bring to talk about each council's strengths and program, you know, the program strengths, and then our what we are aspiring to, or, you know, ideas. And so Susan Millinger emphasized the, you know, the possibilities of collaboration, and what might, you know, having a speaker with bringing in the local other councils nearby. And Janice talked about her idea, and she's been collecting possible short trips that groups might take.
Mhm. Yep.
Chime in if I've, you know, missed bits of that.
Yeah, very, very wonderful. Thank you.
There was Janice speaking. There was also the Dementia Cafe. In
Yeah.
couple, I can't remember who, if it was just Susan or both Susans, Susan G and Susan M.
It was
And-
something that Nancy Spittle had mentioned.
Right.
This is Susan Millinger again. Real quick, Janice, do you want to take the collaboration things to bring those up, and I'll bring up the programs we're running now? Would that be a fair division?
Yes, because you're probably more, Janice speaking. Yes, you're more familiar with the programs we're running now, I imagine, from all your years of, or however long you've been taking minutes.
Right.
We could also bring,
Okay.
we could also bring a copy of the annual report that I wrote that Corna gives in case people ask questions.
Good thought. Good thought. I guess my major concern is the whole question of collaboration involving money, because we don't have that big a budget, and we have a lot of things that we want to do with our money, and how much of our money are we going to be willing to devote to Village Neighbors activities or needs?
This is Linda. I have a thought on that. So I was thinking that this was a get together and not anything where, you know, obviously the two of you can't make any decisions. So you would bring back any proposals or regarding any kind of funding back to the council as a whole for us to consider.
Okay.
Does that
Seems
sound
fair.
okay?
Yeah.
I'm noticing that we're going to have a guest join us, Marianne Antonellis. So I would just want to, before I unmute Marianne, well, I'm going to unmute Marianne and she can introduce herself. If we're ready to, do you feel like we're ready to move on to Marianne? I didn't expect her to join in, but that's great because she wanted to talk about possible funding for online fitness program. Are you good?
Yep.
Janice is good.
Good. Okay.
Hi,
Hi, Marianne. We're going to welcome you as a guest to our meeting. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
hi. I'm Mary Ann Antonellis. I'm the library director here in Shutesbury, and I wasn't planning to come to your meeting, but I was supposed to send you, Linda an email, and I looked at the clock and it's 5:54.
Yeah.
I've been working on my Our Town newsletter submission, which is due to Janice in a couple of days. So I got carried away, adding everything I've been gathering together and putting that all in one place. So I spoke to Linda earlier today. I started just yesterday offering a strength class online using Zoom with Jay McWilliams, and it went really well yesterday. So we had 18 people participate. The most we ever had in the room in town hall was 16, and the few times when we got to 16, I would like look at the door and pray no one else would come in. But we can have 18 in an online class. We could have more than that. But I wouldn't want it to be too many more than that. I don't want it to be 50 people because I want him to be able to look at the screen for the people who have video and have some idea of what they're doing. And I want him to be able to answer questions too. But it was really good, and we're going to do that again on Friday morning. And we're going to plan on doing his class on Tuesdays and Fridays, through May anyway. And I have grant funding that's going to cover that for a couple of months. And then the other thing that I've been wanting to do, and I'm kind of doing these, trying to do one thing at a time. And then next thing I'd like to add is a yoga class. And so I haven't firmed up exactly who will be teaching the yoga class yet. I want it to be somebody who's really skilled and who's, sort of a comforting presence, I think, and a really attentive presence. So I'm talking to somebody about that, and somebody who's going to be comfortable doing a video yoga class. So I haven't firmed up who'll be teaching it yet. But if we did, there are 11 Wednesdays between now and the end of June. And I just added up if we did that at $50 a week. That would be $550. And most of the time, I have plenty of Friends of the Library money to cover programs, and I don't have any. I'm always thrilled when the Council on Aging pays for programs, and I don't have to spend that Friends of the Library money. And this year, right now, the Friends of the Library aren't going to be reaching out to people for funding, and they do have some funding available. They just voted to spend funding to mail library materials to people's homes, which is something we've never done before, and it's really nice to have the ability to do that. So anyway, right now, I would just like to add a yoga class. And I'm sort of slowly building a catalog of online classes, and I'm I can't think about getting up to 7 fitness classes a week. That the thought of, on Zoom, that the thought of that is overwhelming to me. But I think it would be great to add a yoga class. And maybe 2 yoga classes, but right now today I'm asking if you folks would be interested to fund a yoga class, 1 yoga class a week starting next week, going through the end of June online for $50 a class. Susan's
What
raising
is
her
the
hand.
status of our budget right now?
So I don't have actual numbers in front of me, but we have a grant of $6,000, which I don't, because I'm at home, I don't have my fat COA folder here, but anyway, we had allocated a certain amount to programming, and it's April. We've not spent any of that money. So we do have room to do that. And right now, although we were anticipating that the foot clinic would need more money, right now, because we're on hold, that changes that piece of what we were thinking a month ago, that we would need to do some reallocation there. So it seems like we are fine to allocate $550. And how are other folks thinking about this?
Janice Gray agrees with you.
Yes, I would agree.
Susan
Can't hear you,
Go ahead.
Susan.
Susan Gomberg agrees to go ahead.
Okay, Susan Millinger, I don't disagree, but I have a question, Marianne.
Okay.
Surely there are a lot of programs available online currently for people.
There are
like
a lot
yoga.
of, there are. Are there free yoga programs in a community of known people? No.
Yeah, that's the benefit.
Right.
That's the benefit,
right.
is the teacher we
Yes.
know and
Right.
participants that we know.
Right. So
It's
this
a
would
gift.
be, right, this would be a community gathering on Zoom, like this meeting is a community gathering on Zoom. And so I have seen people posting videos of yoga. And I have seen the yoga center in Amherst is doing a lot of Zoom classes, and so the yoga center in Amherst a while ago moved to their funding method. They call it pay from the heart. It's really a beautiful thing. And so if people take their classes, even when they were in-person classes, they could choose how much they paid. I don't think they could go in for free, but there was like a sliding scale. And they're doing a similar thing with their Zoom classes. But what I would expect from this is that it would be mostly Shutesbury people who have been participating in the weekly Wednesday yoga class. And so it would be us together in a yoga class during this trying time with a trusted instructor who we feel supported and loved by.
And the other benefit is that it's a specific time,
Yes.
and that's a routine.
Yes.
Joanne, sorry, go ahead.
No, I think I saw on Nextdoor Shutesbury that the person teaching the chair yoga class has an online.
So that's not the person who was teaching our chair yoga class.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that person. But that person has just been posting a daily video of chair yoga, which is a
Mhm.
lovely thing to do. There's another
Oh.
person posting daily meditations.
Mhm.
And, you know, I've just sort of, I go on Nextdoor Shutesbury mostly to post something myself, and I kind of scan out of the corner of my eye. So I haven't sort of watched those things other than to notice that they're there. And I think those are lovely things. But they're not the same as, and they're not the same as what we've been doing together for years now. And this won't be the same as what we've been doing together for years now, but it would create a space for the people who were able to come together at a regular time with the expectation of a certain thing. And it would be, you know, I really think it would end up being better attended than the already well attended weekly yoga class.
Mm.
Janice?
So you can see me even though we can't see you. This is
Yes.
great. The thing I was also thinking about is I have not personally gone and looked at yoga classes online, but most of them, that at least in the past, and obviously that's changing now, are videos, and they're not interactive, and you don't have the teacher say, no, 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 you don't want to do that, Janice. That's going to hurt the back of your neck. And so I think having an interactive component where, as you said with Jay and Strength Foundations, you can watch what other people are doing. I think that's important.
Joanne? No? Is anyone interested in any further discussion, or are we ready to vote, make a motion? This was Linda, anyway.
I don't want to make a motion right this minute, but I just want to thank Marianne for a very articulate explanation of what she sees as the value of a Shutesbury yoga program.
Thank you, Susan.
I move that we allocate $550 for the yoga class that Marianne will set up for the community of Shutesbury, starting next week until through the end of June.
That was Joanne Bernard speaking.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, this is Susan, the secretary again. If you want me to have the specific language of that, Joanne, you're going to have to repeat it slowly for the minutes.
Okay, I move that we allocate $550.
Wait. Okay.
For an online yoga class. Parenthesis, is that correct, Marianne?
Yes.
Okay, that Marianne Antonellis, director of the library, will set up. That will run from the middle of April until the end of June.
Anything else?
Marianne, is there anything else to
No,
add?
that's it.
Okay.
This is Gomberg.
Thanks, Joanne.
I
Sorry?
didn't hear you, Susan.
Susan, can you say it again?
This is Gomberg. I second the motion.
Okay, so we'll now, is there any further discussion? This is Linda? No? Okay. So now we would need to take a roll call vote. And so this is Linda Avery-Scott, aye.
Janice Gray, aye.
Joanne
Susan
Bernhardt,
Miller, aye.
aye.
Susan
Joanne
Gomberg.
Bernhardt, aye.
Susan Gomberg, did you vote?
Yes, aye.
Okay,
All
so
right.
that's everybody's aye, so the motion carries.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I'm glad that I noticed what time it was. Time to log in. This is really, it's getting easier to use Zoom. I've made some mistakes when I've scheduled meetings and haven't gotten the time right because of time zones, and it's a little glitchy, but anyway, but it's getting easier, and we're all getting really good at using this new technology. So
So thank you for coming, because I was thinking to myself, well, I'm just gonna punt. So
Yes. Okay. All right.
thank
Yeah.
you,
I'm,
Marianne.
I didn't forget. I spoke to one person and that person won't be available, and I have an email out to the other person, and then I got busy with the newsletter, and then I looked at the time, and
Okay.
and I couldn't believe how late it was already. So
Yeah, but it was just, it was perfect timing. We were ready for
good.
you. So,
Okay. All right.
Janice,
Thank you.
I'd
okay.
like to add that you've just given us something really cool to say to a joint meeting of councils on aging and village neighbors on Saturday.
Good. Good. I'm glad. Good. Excellent. All right. This has been a really good partnership for a number of years now. And so this is sort of going back, the very first collaboration between the library and the Council on Aging was just gentle yoga.
Yeah.
And and we're sort of recreating what we do now. And I think it's okay to sort of take it slow and one thing at a time, and see how things go. So I think this will be a nice thing for the community. So, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye,
Good
Marianne.
evening, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay. Anything else, everybody? This is Linda.
Susan Millinger, before we leave, but I suppose after the official meeting, I would just like to check and see everybody else's experiences, because some people are a lot more faded than other people. And I don't really understand that.
Faded?
Yeah, less color. I can see
depends.
some people.
Yeah. It depends on the lighting in their room.
All right, hold on. Let's see if this helps. Any better?
A little. Mhm.
Yep.
I tried turning on my ceiling light too. This is Janice speaking.
Joanne seems a little fuzzy to me. Does she look a little fuzzy to anybody else?
Janice, yes. Yeah. Yep. Yep. It might be her connection.
Okay.
Oh, now you're much better.
This is
Janet?
Janice, I have my desk lamp on and a ceiling light on, and I actually have another light I could turn on behind me.
You're better. So, all good? Anything else anyone wants to talk about?
Mrs. Gomberg, no.
Okay, so perhaps we can have a motion to adjourn, and we'll follow by a roll call vote, and then we'll be done. And well, noting that our next meeting would be the second Wednesday in May.
May 13th.
Okay, May 13th. And I just want to ask Joanne, do you have any questions on anything we might have talked about before you got here?
I assume that, this is Joanne, I assume that our programs are all on hold for now.
Yes.
The med ride, the community luncheon, the foot clinic. Is that right?
Yes. This is Linda, and we talked about in particular, we talked about the foot clinic and how to be with rescheduling. And so we all agreed that Susan Gomberg will communicate to the folks who are scheduled for April that the program is on hold for now, and when we're able to resume, then there'll be then folks will be rescheduled, and it'll start with the people who were scheduled for March and work forward from there.
Good.
This is Gomberg. We also have a full schedule for May, so I'll contact everybody. All the people that signed up, I will contact.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Janice.
I have something unrelated. Do we want anything from the Council on Aging in the upcoming Our Town newsletter?
Oh, that's a good point.
I could just say, Janice again, that, you know, what we've said tonight, that our programs are on hold. I'm not sure what we want to, what we can share, but we have an opportunity to say something.
Hmm.
And in fact, I suppose, even though the deadline is technically Friday, we could, but I don't know how we would vet it among ourselves. Maybe we can't. Mention that there's this joint meeting coming up on Saturday. Just as a, at press time, we were going to go to, I don't know, just a thought I had just now.
Let's just Millinger. My vote would be we can talk about that after we've had it. If we have something to say in the newsletter, that would be just my feeling about it. What do the rest of you think?
Well, this is Linda. The due date for I think Janice is talking about the upcoming issue of the Our Town. And so the due date for submitting something would have passed. So if we were going to put something in relative to the joint meeting, we could empower Janice, say, to write a short bit about the joint meeting.
Janice Gray was just speaking about all this and then thinking, but what do we do about open meeting law and process? And maybe
Right.
that's why I'm backing off now. I
Yeah,
was just
okay,
thinking we have
okay,
to have a presence in the newsletter with something.
right. The only thing we can say right now, this is Linda, is that our programs are on hold, that we're collaborating with the library on an online yoga, gentle yoga program.
Mhm.
And did we get, Janice again, did we get a response from that little ad with the owl about if you're not on our mailing list?
The only thing we did receive was someone asking for their mailing address to be corrected. That's it.
Would you want to run that again
In the,
in the
well,
Our Town?
in the Our Town? Folks, what do you think?
Why not?
Sure, why not?
Okay, thank you. Janice signing off there.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
So Janice, again, just making sure for the minutes and process. So are you guys saying that I can just write up a little paragraph or two?
I make a motion that we empower Janice to compile a short article for the upcoming issue of our town newsletter.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote.
Mhm.
Linda, aye.
Joanne, I.
Susan Millinger, aye.
Susan G, I.
Can Janice Gray vote on something like that?
Yes.
Then aye. Okay.
Okay, motion carries.
One final idea on when I call people about the foot clinic. If someone expresses distress, can I just suggest they contact their personal physician or the foot clinic office in Greenfield?
Yeah.
Be good.
Yeah, I support that suggestion. Sounds good.
Okay. It's a fairly benign one.
Yes, but it's a plan. If someone feels a need for more support about their feet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other business? So we need a motion to adjourn at 6:17 p.m.
So moved.
Okay.
I second.
Okay. Roll call vote. Linda, aye.
Janice,
Joanne, I.
Susan M, aye.
Susan G. I.
Okay, motion carries, everybody. It's so good to see you all. Really, really good to see you all. And so we'll see where we're at for our next meeting. And we've got the Zoom thing down, so we can do it again.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so much for
hosting.
setting this up.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for hosting, Linda.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, I'm going to end the meeting now. All right. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.